I'm going to talk about some of the new books available at the Bedford Branch and some of my favorites. So the books I'm going to talk about today, this is a new Stephen King book called If It Bleeds. I love anything by Stephen King. I love horror. I love being scared. If you like it or any of the books or movies that you've seen by him, this is his newest one. I also recommend that you listen to books by Stephen King on audio. They are read by the actor Will Patton, and he has a low, scary, gravelly voice. And I'm scared just listening to this at dark in the night. So Stephen King, If It Bleeds. I picked one of Nicholas Sparks' new books. He's the exact opposite of Stephen King. Nicholas Sparks' books are full of love and happy endings. So you might be familiar with his work, such as The Notebook or any of the books that he has written that maybe have been turned into movies. So he has a lot out there. This one's called The Return. John Grisham has The Guardians. John Grisham always writes books typically about some sort of law or lawyer, which is also a huge interest to me, and there's a mystery involved. The Guardians is really good. It's a private detective, and he's sort of hired to protect someone that was falsely accused of a crime. There's some race issues involved. It's very good. Lisa Scottolini, I love. She did a book called Exposed, and that's one of her most recent ones. She writes also kind of legal crime books. She also writes very fun books with her daughter that are short chapter books that are very funny. And she writes a column for the Philadelphia newspaper where she's from. Michael Connelly, fair warning. Michael Connelly is an author that I love. He writes, he has sort of a rogue private investigator that goes out and gets into kind of all kinds of trouble. He can't really follow the rules. I didn't grab one of his, but Robert B. Parker is another author I love like that. He wrote all of the Spencer series, the Spencer books, and those have been made into TV series a couple of times. Spencer's also a private detective that cannot follow the rules and always manages to get into some sort of trouble with his friend Hawk. The next one is Jodi Picoult. The one I picked is Small Great Things. This is one of her newer ones, probably not her newest, but I like this book. This also deals with some issues of race. There is a nurse who is helping to deliver a baby, and they are of different ethnic backgrounds, and there's some controversy there. A lawsuit ensues, some troubles. It's very heart-wrenching. It's a book that makes you think and wonder, what would you do in that situation? Jodi Picoult wrote other books I love, like My Sister's Keeper. 19 Minutes is really good. That's about a bombing that occurs and everything that happens in a short amount of time of 19 minutes. It's very, very intense as well. James Patterson, I picked a couple of his. James Patterson writes regular books, young adult books. He writes a book a month with assorted authors. I tend to like his books. They tend to be quick reads, thrillers, and intense, and he's very popular. I've already mentioned I like scary. This one was called At Your Door. This one is very good. It's scary. A woman is dead, a child is missing, and now there's someone at your door. So the whole time you're kind of looking over your shoulder as you read this book. And Stuart Woods is another one that I picked, and Jeffrey Deaver. These are the authors that I really like. In my book club recently, we talked about Kristen Hanna and The Nightingale. Kristen Hanna I really like. Her books are, they're very kind of involved. You can't really put them down. This one, Chevy Stevens, I love, Still Missing. This is an older one, but I love it. It is about a woman who has been abducted, and the book is written, every other chapter is written her voice, in a therapy section, and then a flashback to the awful incidents that occur. So if you liked something like Room, or the story of Elizabeth Smart, or J.C. Duggar, or any of those people, the Cleveland abductions, any of those people, this is a fiction book that is kind of horrific and hard to put down as well, in sort of a bad way. And Danielle Steele, I picked one of her newer ones that we have is Daddy's Girls, and she has a lot that kind of along the lines of Nicholas Sparks are a little bit more on the romance side, and those are some of the ones that I wanted to talk about today and to highlight.